Oh, thank God. It crashed on me when I was playing it last time, too. As I approach the lobby exit, the building's soundproofing begins to fail. The crowd was getting bigger, but there's something else happening out there. The energy's not panicked yet, but it's creeping up on the tipping point. Are this many people pissed at Noble for selling androids? The hell got them all so excited? Ladonia, what does this symbol mean? And the rattle, probably something vulgar. Which one? The heart with a bullet hole. Oh no. Oh no. I don't know. It's probably nothing. Based on the message, it appears to be a symbol for the heartbreak killer? That doesn't make goddamn sense. Why would that freak have a symbol or a following or whatever these people are? And why the hell would they be outside David Assure's apartment? Because Noble's trying to cover up the truth. Those Megs in there are scrambling to shred every document they can. We need to stick together, form a perimeter, and try to catch them when they go to dump the scraps. Sierra, what are you hoping to find? Proof that Assure was killed for trying to blow the whistle? Blow the whistle on heartbreak? Noble doesn't want the world to know that the A6 is Sentinel and homicidal. You think Heartbreak is an android? You think whoever did all that was human? Ant's prototype went amok and started killing random people. Don't be a lamb. It only looks random. There are clear pattern as long as you're smart enough to see past the bullshit. Oh, okay. How does one see past the bullshit? Stop engaging. Smart kid, she gets it. She's asking the right questions. The hell are you talking about? No way, those victims weren't related. It's gotta be a denial op? Denial op is a fictional classification for clandestine state actions that need not be taken responsibility for because plausible deniability and military disinformation efforts create enough confusion that every party involved, even the victims, can spin the outcome to suit their own needs. No such designation exists. Deniable ops are a common reoccurring concept in online conspiracy theories, often used to wave away questions about why supposedly explosives events are never reported on through the media or addressed by the world government. It's also commonly claimed that the denial ops make an ample use of private military contractors in order to further distance governments from the political ramifications of their military actions. Neat! I like that. Ops. They must have all been in DO territory together before getting their records bleached. Outlive their usefulness. What? Are you nuts? Everyone knows the first 6 HK got to where the 6 prototypes that came before him. Warm androids so perfect no one could tell the diff. You kill those other over-engineered freaks. Everyone's got a goddamn opinion. I see. Stop seeing, start moving. These people are insane. Why don't you eat some more corn slop, asshole? You think you can buy the cyberpunk without thinking? The cyber, originally a term coined in a short science fiction story and later having grown into a genre all this own, cyberpunk historically was referred to a counterculture centered around the themes of underdogs, resisting powerful corporate or government forces throughout digital guerrilla warfare. Oh my god, they have a whole explanation for what cyberpunk is. You think it's coincidence victim number 6 was working for Harco Corps? They're putting something in the food. Why are you people so set on this? Those people, Heartbreak, this is a goddamn embarrassment. The hell am I paying taxes for if the state can't shut this shit down? What about you, Adonia? What do you think about this Heartbreak figure? They're just a murderer. Should be caught and sentenced like any other murderer. But they must have some reason for doing such terrible things. Aren't you curious? Why are some reasons for committing murder better than others? They might have experienced trauma or abuse. They might have. Millions of people experience trauma and abuse every day. Millions. And yet, there's only one Heartbreak. So you think they were just born that way? That's my guess. She would know. That's unsatisfying. Sad. I don't see why it would be. If Heartbreak was born like that, then they never had a chance to be anything else. If Heartbreak was born like that, then none of us normal people have to ever worry about turning out like them. What kind of predestination? It means they never had to take responsibility for what they are. State can make them take responsibility as soon as they catch them. You make it sound so trivial. They're very dangerous serial killers. It's just a serial killer. If HK shot someone every day, it would take them 1,132 years and about 11 months in order to have killed 413,789 people. You did that in your head? I think of some of these people she's killed. Holy shit. You counted the leap years? But what is the significance of the number? Deaths within 18 months of the Blakeford industrial disaster. Congestions ahead. We're currently limiting traffic related to this particular search due to the large number of edits coming in from net addresses outside your country's borders. We're proud to fight alongside variable user country in combating disinformation by the foreign actors that those valuable unrestricted users. Oh, so I can't even read this. So she does what she does for a reason. Times the number by 2 for the injuries. Tack on another 183% for the birth defects. 413,000 dead, and there wasn't anything evil about it. Just human error. Some sobby welding and time. So you think the Heartbreak is nothing by comparison. Perhaps that is the problem then? If they're nothing, if they represent nothing, then they can stand for whatever the crowd wants them to. Please make way. Officials are coming through. Please disperse. Keep walking, pigs. Fascists. Noble owns the cops. Only the cops. They build in their factories. Very funny. Why are we tolerating this shit? You want me to wade into the crowd with a nightstick proving them wrong? You know what I mean. We're the only people in the city trying to do some goddamn good, and they're all just... That's just part of our job, detective. No offense, ma'am, but wearing a police badge earns you a little more hate than Do they give prosecutors badges? I have ID for the parking garage. Does that count? Depends on if you ever hesitate to wear it in the open. This moral relativism of yours seems like a strange philosophy for someone in your profession, Adonia. Breaking out the thesis on me. I love this drawing of her. It's so good. I love the face. There's the twisted look on her face. I'm only being realistic and humble. I'm just one woman, Sierra. Whatever I do, right or wrong. It's less than a percentage rounding error in the grand scheme of things. Do you tell that to your clients? No, but they come to appreciate it when I win. I don't mean cops are particularly. The same deal applies to anyone who works for the state. The terms are stark, but the ink dried a long time ago, and we all agreed to them. I don't recall voting for it. Well, not voting is how these things come to pass, so... We traded freedom for safety, individual rights for collective power. The state won, the citizens lost. The very least we can do is take their criticisms head on. Look, I don't have a problem with the responsibility of authority. Only with the authority being challenged. But they treat us like we're the bad guys. Well, sometimes we are. Sometimes the law is wrong. So if any given individual is too small to ever affect change, so if the public's gonna hate us no matter what we do, and the corporations and governments will trample over people the same regardless of their character, and we can't even be sure we're doing the right thing, what do you do, Adonia? The hell do we do? I think it's pretty simple. It's not complicated as you think. In times like these, in a world like this, the only logical way to live is, the only moral way to act is, do whatever it takes to win. Damn. Okay. She looks fucking phenomenal in that shot. Morgan looks like she's about fucking... I don't know, she's like she's enjoying this way too much. If I'm insignificant in the grand scheme of things, I can do my worst and no one will notice. If power is inherently evil, holding back won't save your soul. It's just fight with both barrels and trust the opposition to do the same. Winner takes all. Dude. I love this shit, dude. Oh, we're doing this shit for 4 hours. I'm so happy, dude. We're not even close to finishing this. Gatsville Memorial Hospital. Thank you, you're a lifesaver. And the next time the Bridezilla texts you, just turn your phone off. Morgan. Chatty guy must have been due to going on break. When he tried and failed to find the witness's medical records, his pad had the name blacked out. But I did see that they had... Because Executive 3 more expensive than David's, which means they most likely... How did you do that? You need to hold the button... You need to hold the button to get the doors to close faster. Mashing does nothing. That is not what I meant. There were many others who arrived before us. How did you get us down here so quickly? Well, I didn't do anything. It was just the nurse who escorted us. Yes, but you managed to get a stranger like him to help you with so few words, so little information. I don't think you even gave him your name. You heard of the golden rule? Of course I have. Treat others how you would want to be treated. Wrong. Treat others how they want to be treated. He wanted someone that he could vent to. He wanted someone to pay attention to him. And he wanted to feel appreciated. Which means he'd be eager to help given the chance. Even just reading someone's mood is quite difficult. How can you know how another person wants to be treated? There are no mind readers. No one can ever know anything about what anyone's thinking. Maybe even themselves. Doesn't matter if you're a parent, you're a twin, you're a lover. It'll always be a gamble. That is not a very comfortable sentiment. Well, I think it's fun. Only because you're good at it. How did you get good at it? Same as anything. Observation and practice. You must have been observing and practicing for a very long time then. Morgan just not responding to giving that curt response is a bit unnerving. So I proceed down the hall. Bear left. Hopefully there's not a bear on the left. Look for the fourth door. I'm gonna open that one. I'm gonna open the one that says Morgue on it. Hi. Who are you? Also, I love the coat. Lab coat is sick. And I love the fucking tattoo. What the fuck? Oh, hey. Come on in. Don't stand out in the cold. Wouldn't be accurate. Who are you? Sorry about the chill in the air, but I run a little hot. And you could see my roommates never complain. Yumi Sato, medical examiner. Hello, hello, mortician. Yumi Sato, March 3rd, 173. She's kind of tall. Oh, negative. Medical examiner. Likes accessories, reality TV, and palm reading. This one makes a lot of sense. Just like social media also makes sense. Dress codes and ebooks. Likes Robux. Loves to make new playlists. Hates to throw out old clothes. Most proud of my weekly meal prep. I love her already. Dr. Sato, just the lady I wanted to see. That I didn't expect that I'd get to. The fact that they've assigned a medical examiner and not some ad or a junior means. Oh, you can just call me Yumi and you're... Morgan, I represent the deceased. The deceased? Oh, the deceased. Asher D. Wait, really? That's a weird. I thought this time slot was scheduled for a group of noble PR people who... I know, weird, right? Well, the hell do I know? I'm getting tired of hosting Megs anyway. Gotta finish typing up this report before we talk shop. But in the meantime, feel free to make yourselves at home. Oh, I will gladly. Examine. Are these all dead bodies? One would hope so. I only meant that I'm surprised to see them stored here. It suggests a backlog, which suggests a higher murder rate than the public data would lead one to expect. Do you only examine bodies from for the police doctor? Oh, I wish. Most of my job involves confirming COD on natural deaths for insurance and adjustments. Insurers want to blame the mod for failing. Mod makers want to blame the stiff for not exercising enough. Families say the company insurance plan would pay for mods, but not a gym membership. Yeah, that whole wall there is suspected detective Liv Modders, suspected link internal biobatteries suspected. CCIC. Climate change induced complications. You could prove that climate change contributed to an otherwise natural death. Very, very rarely. I just want to save this to have her on the screen, bro. Look at her. She's immaculately beautiful. This is why I want examining my body when I die. Very, very rare. Could have been proven. What does that mean for the family of the deceased? Plus or minus 14% of the life insurance payout. I mean, it's most of what I do, and I don't dislike my job. It's just so much of what I do is just boils down to telling a bunch of cheapskates how to split the dead man's bill. Enough to make a homicide feel like a breath of fresh air. What's this? The hospital's getting renamed? No, guess it's some other hospital that's got snapped up. Hospital renamed to thank Ikari family in the ribbon cutting ceremony. Ikari Memorial Hospital, formerly renamed the Northeastern Ikari Medical Complex, in recognition of the family's incredible generous donation over the last several years. It is the latest in a string of philanthropic efforts by the family to result in the name change after they paid for the renovations to the orchestral hall and the retrofitting of what used to be known as the Scout Arena. But it wasn't so long ago that the Ikari were better known for drawing blood than donating it. Back before the 50s, they had a fearsome reputation. It's whether the 50s or the 2050s, not the 1950s. Fearsome reputation for cutthroat business practices and had their business rivals going so far as to accuse them of involvement with organized crime. God. Okay, where am I? After the founding of Renogen Medical over 25 years ago and its subsequent sale, the Ikari have moved out of the business world and into the upper echelon of society. They are sometimes mockingly referred to as the Neobility, a generation of newly minted aristocrats born from the unique and chaotic economics of the mid-21st century and the Red Decade. When asked her opinion on those who labeled her family House Ikarita at the hospital's renaming ceremony, Regent board member Mira Ikari, or Ikaria, had this to say: "In this country, anyone can make a name for themselves so long as they're willing to put in the work. Mock new money all you want, but the truth is that success is all about reinventing yourself, and the only one who's comfortable with that are you're working hard. Yeah, you own a subscription so I can see the rest of what you said." Guess they weren't, and of course, the hospital renaming. Was anything else? No. Guess they weren't always in the same line of work. Now we're plastering their name wherever to get themselves a healthcare monopoly? No. New image. All the Neobility, which, new word. Whoops. They are eager to prop up their image wherever they can, but that must go double for the Ikarias, assuming the truth about their criminal past is anywhere close to the rumors. All that's left is the desk. All that's left is the desk. That's a lot of scenes. Oh, welcome, whoever just... Never mind. I was going to say welcome, whoever just joined, but they left. That's a lot of screens. There's got to be diminishing returns of productivity. Why do you have so many monitors, ma'am? You can't just ask someone that. Good question. Every quarter when they do inventory and budgeting, they ask me if I need anything, and I never do, so I submit a blank form. But I guess a while back there was a +1 in a spreadsheet somewhere, and no one ever corrected it. So, boom! I have 4 new monitors. I get 4 new monitors every year. Do you run out of things to use them for? Sometimes. But this year I've been starting to run 2 dramas at once when I'm doing root work, which helps. Watching 2 television shows at the same time helps you with your root work? Helps me use up the screens? I see. She's finished up over there. Right, now, so what's up? Thank you for your time, Dr. Sato. My first question would be... what was the cause of death? Oh, wow. Hi there, cute android. I didn't even realize it was... Really cute. The skin is... that's remarkable. Even just looking close, you can tell they really are warm. No, she's getting all shy and bashful. That's cute. That's so cute. Welcome. Still not quite human body temperature, but they've come a long way. Early gens all looked flushed. Felt like they were all running off fever. Now they run like it too. Even 2 years ago, the average warm android only lasted... sorry, the circumstances surrounding this particular case call for expediency. Right. So what can I tell you? Toxic screening. The police mentioned a tox screening. Yeah, that's the thing. I ran a tox screening when the first arrived typical diagnosis intake procedure. Based on the emergency call, they figured that it must have been an overdose. Tox screen, new evidence. But the tox screening gave them nothing. After he died, we performed the board screenings, possibly nothing. So we were forced to conclude that this was a natural death. I didn't give up that easy, so I took blood samples, compared the makeup with what was on record in the previous medical history, as I imagine isolated a single non-natural occurring chemical compound that wasn't there before. What was it? Some oxidized toxin from a different hemisphere? I wish. I ran it through every available database we could access to, and even a few I only sort of have access to through some friends. Not only does it not match any known poison, it does not match the chemical makeup of any registered compound. So a designer drug, huh? That seems to be the best explanation. The hell did you do, David? You said it didn't match any registered compound. What about compounds that aren't registered? Those friends of yours, private sector folks? Yeah, in pharmaceuticals. One of them patent a new compound, a new drug, what would keep its formula from going on record? The private sector, intellectual privacy is the norm, so you're expected to protect your research aggressively. Oh. Patent first, find a user later. Yeah, patient would have to have at least described your compound in brief, but depending on what country you file in, I've heard it may be considered prudent to keep these actual chemical makeups off the record. Smart, using international IP law as your own personal minefield. How so? I'm glad she's like a stand-in for me to be like, huh? Whenever they're ahead, patent as much as you can, as fast as you can. But bury the formulae so no one knows where it's safe to walk. Anyone small and ambitious comes along to find a new drug they're excited about and flip up your card. Let them know you came up with the idea years ago. And you'll give them death by 1,000 court dates if they so much as blink. Won't work on anyone your size or bigger, they could punch back, but for the rest of the field... Wow, you corporate lawyers are scary. I'm not a corporate lawyer. So you came up with this strategy just now? So it's possible that this poison is actually a known substance, something that the hospital could have easily identified if it wasn't considered a trade secret. Yes, unfortunately, that is a possibility. Still, just because a drug is new, it doesn't mean it's original. Does that affect this compound remind you of any other drug? Maybe one that's prescription only or a controlled substance, one you might know by another name but with a patented structure? Sorry, sweetheart, it's a general depressant. There are a lot of drugs that have the effects on the body, and they come in all shapes and sizes from all kinds of places. If the effect was unremarkable, what about its strength? Could you estimate how much of the stuff he had in his body at all? Not precisely, no. Not without detailed knowledge on its half-life, but I'd guess it must have been about 20 milligrams? 20 milligrams? Is 20 milligrams a lot? Not for medicine, so... 20 milligrams is not a lot. So this wasn't just an overdose or something. Relatively harmless then. No. Not if 20 milligrams was enough to crash his entire nervous system. Cause of death. We're able to determine the cause of death. Well, cause of death, sure, we got that much figured out at least. Why doesn't that sound particularly reassuring? Dr. Sure died of respiratory failure. Not enough oxygen in the blood, not enough blood going to the brain. Root cause being widespread depression of the central nervous system. What would the symptoms be? What would it have looked like? Lightheadedness, followed by dizziness, then headache, slurred speech, exhaustion, loss of consciousness, then finally respiratory arrest. Portions of the EMTs tried to intubate, then resuscitate through electrical stimulated repetitiveness. By the time he got to the emergency room, they were desperate enough to attempt direct artificial blood oxidation, but it was too late. And you're certain of this? Oh, well, most of it, sweetie. Most of it? Yeah, it turned into quite the puzzle, and I'm used to having more pieces to start with. I was surprised a man as rich and famous as him not to have any kind of biomes, but his files show. Biomes? Biomes in general use term for wearable technology or implant mods. Ah, okay. Feedback? It's a bunch of scissors. Okay. Neat. He wasn't a viable candidate for modding. Yeah, that's right. Without that kind of first-hand tech, we don't have nearly much data on as we'd like. But he was extensively monitoring from the moment the EMTs arrived. Yeah. Sorry, I had space there for a minute. About the conclusion. You find anything else unusual about his body in your examination? Cuts or bruises? No. Injection sites? Nothing in any crevices? Nothing at all, huh? Thank you, Yumi. Of course. So, You ready to view the body? We could skip it if you want. I know most people get squeamish around corpses. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. Okay then, let's get started. We're gonna get to look at it. We get to go look at a dead body. Yay! I have two. Alright, I just stepped out for a moment to give you some privacy. Yes, please. Thank you. And the last time we talked was on a Sunday. You were complaining, I remember that. It was the principle of the matter, right? You had ordered this cheap piece of shit sculpture or something by mistake. It came damaged, and you wanted to send it back for a refund. You don't remind me of how, because your salary, it was literally not worth your time. I apologize again, I'm getting to that point. And I kindly offer to throw it out for you, Silent, since you're having so much trouble letting it go. You're only offering because you want to see how loud it sounds shattering at the bottom of the trash can. I denied it, even though you were right. And it was obvious. I should have let you have that one. I thought he would look different. But he looks exactly the same as I remember. His skin is pale. He's very still. But his face is the same. His hair, his hands. You were expecting something more drastic? The last time I saw him, he was alive. He smiled and he told me he would see me soon. Now he is gone. Something is gone. And I can't find the difference. Trying to look hard. But I think I might just not be capable of it. Now I wonder why. Why was I created to not be capable? Could be issue of skill. Or maybe it's not something that can be seen, no matter how hard you look. But it's not. But it's there. I guarantee it. Seen the transition enough times to be sure between life and death. Distinction has significance. To the dead, at least, very least. Going to smoke here? Now? I'll pay the fine. That's not the issue. You were expecting me to fall to pieces? Real boys grieving in all other kinds of ways, Pinocchio. And some don't grieve at all, it seems. I'm a cold woman. Sorry to disappoint. The hell? Why the hell won't the thing light? Adonia? You have your cigarette backwards. She'll light the fucking butt of it. Or does she succeed? Alright. That's back into the cold storage for him. So, need anything? No, not really. Can you send me the chemical makeup of the compound you isolated? Sure. For what it's worth, let me just... It's carbon copy and earthstone hydrogen. Okay. So it's organic, but there's a number of metallic elements too. And if you had to speculate on the intent use based on what we know of this structure, well, it certainly acted like a depressant, binding to receptor pathways and affecting the balance of the neurotransmitted reuptake. Oops. Not much need to hit up the gray market for that kind of experience. No, there's not. I see. Thanks again. You've been extremely helpful during a very difficult time. Hey, anything you need, just give me a ring. I will gladly. I give you. That's very genre. Rockford's orders got me on call, so I'm already getting overtime for the whole weekend. Glad to hear it. Goodbye, Yumi. Goodbye to you, Greenie. My name is Sierra. Nice to meet you, Sierra. Aw, that was kind of sweet.